Here we are at 110 weather in
South Mountain
Park Preserve in Arizona. And happy 4th of July, everyone! We're gonna do a beautiful song called "America the Beautiful" in the key of C.
This is number 31 on our 500 fiddle songs.
Ready?
America the Beautiful, key of C, is an American patriotic song. The lyrics were written by Catherine Lee Bates, and the music was composed by church organist and choir master Samuel A. Ward at Grace Episcopal Church in New York, New Jersey. The two never met. Bates originally wrote the words as a poem, Pike's Peak, the first published in the 4th of July edition of the church periodical The Congregationalist in 1895. Here's a description of Pike's Peak. Pike's Peak is the highest summit of the southern front range of the Rocky Mountains in North America. The ultra-prominent 115-foot Frontier is located in Pike National Forest, 12 miles west of downtown Colorado Springs, Colorado. The mountain is named in honor of American explorer Zebulon Pike.
I think I'll let you get that one.
Though he was unable to reach the summit is higher than any point in the United States east of its longitude. At the time, the poem was titled America for publication. Ward had originally written the music, Materna, for the hymn, O Mother Dear Jerusalem in 1882, though it was not first published until 1892. Ward's music combined with the Bates poem was first published in 1910, entitled America the Beautiful. The song is one of the most popular of many U.S. patriotic songs. In 1893, at the age of 33, Bates, an English professor at Wesleyan College, had taken a train trip to Colorado Springs, Colorado, to teach a short summer school session of Colorado College. Several of the sights on her trip inspired her, and they found their way into her poem, including the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, the White City, with its promise of the future contained within its gleaming white buildings, the wheat fields of America, Heartland, Kansas, through which her train was riding on July 16th, and the majestic view of the Great Plains from high atop Pike's Peak. On the pinnacle of that mountain, the words of the poem started to come to her, and she wrote them down upon returning to her motel room at the original Antlers Hotel. The poem was initially published 2 years later in the Congregationalist to commemorate the 4th of July. It quickly caught the public's fancy. An amended version was published in 1904. The first known melody written for the song was sent in by Silas Pratt when the poem was published in the Congressionalist. By 1900, at least 75 melodies had been written. A hymn tune composed in 1882 by Samuel A. Ward, the organist and choir director at Grace Church, New York, was generally considered the best as early as 1910 and is still the popular tune today. Just as Bates had been inspired to write her poem, Ward too was inspired. The tune came to him while he was on a ferry boat trip from Coney Island back to his home in New York City after a leisurely summer day and immediately wrote it down. He composed the tune for the old hymn, O Mother Dear Jerusalem, retitling the work Materna. Ward's music combined with Bates' poem were first published together in 1910 and titled America the Beautiful. Ward died in 1903, not knowing the national stature his music would attain. Bates was more fortunate since the song's popularity was well established by the time of her death in 1929. At various times in the more than 100 years that have lapsed since the song was written, particularly during the John F. Kennedy administration, there have been efforts to give America the Beautiful legal status either as a national hymn or as a national anthem equal to or replace the Star-Spangled Banner. But so far this has not succeeded. Proponents prefer America the Beautiful for various reasons, saying it is easier to sing, more melodic, and more adaptable to new orchestration while still remaining as easily recognizable as the Star-Spangled Banner. Some prefer America the Beautiful over the Star-Spangled Banner due to the latter's war-oriented imagery. Others prefer the Star-Spangled Banner for the same reason. While that national dichotomy has stymied any effort at changing the tradition of the national anthem, America the Beautiful continues to be held in high esteem by large numbers of Americans and was even being considered before 1930 as a candidate to become the national anthem. This song was used as background music of the television broadcast of the Tiangong-1 launch. The song is often included in songbooks in a wide variety of religious congregations in the United States. Whew, wow, it's hot out here, but have a little bit more to share with you because this part's really interesting. The authors are very interesting. Here's a little bit about the authors. Catherine Lee Bates, she lived between 1859 and 1929, was a prolific American writer, college professor, scholar, and social activist. Although she published volumes of poetry, travel books, essays, children's books, books for young people, and editions of many earlier writers' works, today Bates is primarily remembered as the author of America the Beautiful. While on the Wesleyan College faculty, Bates mentored many young poets, including some like Robert Frost, not enrolled at Wesleyan, and helped establish American literature as a field for college study by creating an early course on the genre and writing a textbook for the field. The first woman to do the latter. If you get a chance, Catherine Lee Bates deserves great
read faster.
inspection. It looks like she was a spectacular woman and had such a great impact on literary composition. As a side note, she is the one who introduced the notion of Mrs. Claus in a piece that she wrote. Okay, here is about the writer of the music. We're over half done, so hang in there. Samuel Augustus Ward, he lived between 1848 and 1903, was an American organist and composer born in Newark, New Jersey, the son of a shoemaker. He studied under several teachers in New York and became an organist at Grace Episcopal Church in his hometown in 1880. Here, you do this.
Here.
Or you can wear my cowboy hat and I'll do that.
No.
Okay.
Just read faster, Hayden.
He married Virginia Ward in 1871, with whom he had 4 daughters. He is remembered for 1882 tune Materna, which he intended as a setting for the hymn O Mother Dear Jerusalem. This was published 10 years later in 1892. In 1903, after Ward died, the tune was first combined by a publisher with the Catherine Lee Bates poem America. Itself first published in 1895 to create the patriotic song America the Beautiful. The first book with the combination was published in 1910. Ward never met Bates, Ward was founder and first director.
We missed something.
We got me all flustered. I'm trying to hurry.
Okay.
Okay, just a little bit more, okay? Ward was the founder and first director of the still extant Orpheus Club of New York, which is a singing group still around today. Orpheus is a legendary musician, poet, and prophet in ancient Greek religion. Ward was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1970. Marina, woo! To be a music and songwriter, maybe a poet. I just have a hard time imagining Hayden as a poet.
You're a poet and you don't know it.
Marina, a poet, yes? Your words to me are poetry.
Aww. Okay. Oh, that was your case.
As our fiddle case melted and fell out of the back of the car. I'd like to also dedicate this song to our wonderful friend Brian Savoy, whom we have played bluegrass music together. Brian taught us our first version of Red-Haired Boy, and is a great mandolin player. Brian and his family are sure fine people. I'd like to share with you where we are at this time. We are standing at the precipice of South Mountain. Actually, we were wanting to get to the precipice, but it's so hot that they have it closed. So we're about halfway to the precipice. This great mountain has been a great source of navigation and fun in our lives for all my life. We have and still use it today as a point of reference called the South Mountain. We have gone hiking, camping, and even biking on these mountains. Here's a little information about this park. South Mountain Park Preserve.
It's hot. That's what it is. It's hot.
At more than 16,000 acres, South Mountain Park Preserve is one of the largest municipal managed parks in the nation and consists of 3 mountain ranges, the Mahatac, Gila, and Guadalupe. The park boasts more than 50 miles of trails for hiking, horseback riding, and mountain biking. Additionally, the roadways throughout the park are a favorite for bicyclists. Dobbins Lookout at 2,330 feet is the highest point in the park that is available to the public, accessed by both hiking trails and Summit Road. The lookout is popular with tourists and locals alike who want to get an unobstructed panoramic view of the valley. It's beautiful. And this is the first time that Marina has been here to this park. It's kind of like the Grand Canyon. People live in Arizona, they don't go to the Grand Canyon, but if you live here, you guys got to come and see this. It's beautiful. It's a great park. You can tell they got great infrastructure. How many years have you lived in Arizona now?
Since, oh my gosh, we moved here in 77.
77. And so this is the good thing about you listening to us today, because we got Marina at this park.
Just in case you forgot the song, it was America the Beautiful. We got history.